of you.
Thanks, partner. Wow. Is there anybody in the building that has won a Bowl for Life scholarship ever? Could you come up here with me? Please? Come on up here. Let's give all these young people a round of applause. Can you guys all stay up here with me? How cool is this? This is all part of the Bowl for Life family for young people that have won scholarships since we started in 2012. We're gonna get to $500,000 in scholarships by the end of this year. So we're really excited about that. But we're giving away $5 grand this week, and we're doing it $250 increments 20 times. So we have some winners that are here right now, and we're going to call you, and we'd like for you to join us up here also. Anthony Bocchino.
There you go. $250 scholarship. Oh.
Congrats, Anthony.
Really? Just for being in the tournament? Yeah. They picked 20 that get $250. Wow.
Yeah, if you're with us, will you? K.C. Campbell. He's already up here because he's won a scholarship before. Always winning, brother. Always winning. Braden Cassidy. Braden Cassidy. Kind of nice getting $250 before you even start bowling, right? Lewis Fred. Lewis Fred. Congratulations. Tara Custer. Congratulations, Tara. Okay. If you want to know more about Bowl for Life, go to www.bowlforlife.com or follow us on Facebook under Bowl for Life Foundation. We give away scholarships every month. There's always scholarships. You can register. Most of these young people have won scholarships with essays, correct? Most of you essays? So we do not award any scholarships based on skill or bowling ability or how high you finish in a tournament, because we want everybody to have an even playing field and a fair chance to win. So go check out the Bowl for Life page and follow us. All right, now I have a young person whose mom I know really, really well. She's not here tonight, I don't think. She's probably working really hard. She still runs the junior program? Still runs the junior program over at Carolier Lanes. Joshua Lamoureux. Debbie Stein's young man. Congratulations, bud. If you guys will indulge us just for a second, let's get together and get a really cool picture so we can send it. Come on in.
You love each other. Don't be in a line. You love each other. Get close together. You have to be between both ball returns. You can't be outside the ball return. If you're outside of it, you're out of the picture. All right, folks, here we go. Chuck, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Yep.
Everybody have a nice hand for the Bowl for Life Foundation, Chuck Gardner, and all the recipients. Okay. Chuck, thank you once again. Now, all of you have had plenty of practice. You should be loose, even though you sat here for just a couple of minutes. But our first round is actually the easiest round. When I say the easiest round, it's low ball out. So, Pick a number. There's going to be 3 bowlers on some lanes. There will be 4 bowlers on other lanes. We have to do this strategically. So someone is going to be first. Pick a number on your lane. The first bowler, please get up. Right now.
Corey.
It doesn't matter, left lane or right lane. The first bowler, get up. And please make your shot.
He was out first.
The first bowler is up. Round 3, you need to get 7 or more. 7 is the minimum. please walk back. Stay on that same lane, minimum of 9.
Wow, 9. 9 and straight to stay alive.
First bowler up. And make your shot. Okay, you have 9 or a strike in that round. You have advanced. Okay, now with the bowlers are left, we will go back to low ball. I need you to take and move back to your original starting lane and give me your best shot. Low ball is out.
Whoever kind of always gets.
Yes, Brooklyn, you count. So far, everybody's low is 8. Okay, please reset your machines. If there's a bowler number 2 on your lane, get up and make your shot. 7 is low. Unfortunately, the 7 count has been eliminated. Okay, one more time, the bowlers that are left, we need you to come up to the foul line and give us an idea how many are left.
Yeah, bring it. Go right back.
There are 13 bowlers left. Just so that we know, everyone, the top 8 bowlers remaining will get paid. So, everyone go back and reset your machines. First bowler up. Low ball is eliminated. The 7 count has been eliminated. Wait a second. Yes, the 7 count has been eliminated. Okay, please recycle your machines. Round number 14, 11 bowlers left. Give me 10 pins on the deck and get up and make your shot. Once again, low ball is out. Looks like the 7 has been eliminated. Okay, the bowlers that are left. Reset your machine. Get up and make your shot. Bowler number 1. All right, 8 is low. If you had 8, you have been eliminated. One more time, this will be the last time. Hopefully, bowlers up to the balance. Let's see how many we have left. You are still standing.
Oh, look at those no shit.
7 to probably do next week.
Those 7 bowlers that went out the last round, correct? Both bowlers that got 8, please come over here and see me. Okay, bowlers, step back. You 7 bowlers that are eliminated. Please reset your machines, bowlers. This is round number 15. Low ball will be out.
We need to start doing minimum 10.
All right, so far in that round, low is 7. 7 is low. Is there a second bowler left on the lane? Looks like we have 2 sevens. Okay.
Immediately got white
Bowlers
for
have
2
finished. Please see Leslie there. Bowlers, please recycle your machines. Round number 16, folks. 5 bowlers left. Remember, 5 bowlers left. First place, by the way, is $300. Guy's brother. Guy will receive $70 for that 7 count. Please recycle your machines. 4 people left. Get up and take your shot.
Good job, boy. Go see us.
Third. Bring in 7. Sounds like the all right, we have 2 bowlers left. These 2 bowlers, $300 first place, $150 second place in scholarship money. Bowlers, when your lanes have 10 pins, you are the final 2 competitors. Good luck.
Oh, come on, Bob.
Well, there you have it. William is second. And this year's champion for the Eliminator portion of the event Andrew, $300 scholarship money. Is that like high, or do you like win like thousands all the time? Everything counts?
That's a good answer. Good answer.
What's your biggest check before today? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking you can look at everybody right now and tell them they can go have another cup of Rita's Ice on you. All right, everybody. Okay. If everybody go back to your starting lanes, we're going to get things underway here in just a minute. We're going to start the doubles portion of our tournament. Congratulations once again to Andrew.
Let's go! Yes, sir! Good job, buddy. That's awesome. Hey, Joe,
Oh, thank you.
How do you want to start?
All right, bowlers, please report to your starting lanes. Since a fair amount of the bowlers have sat out, we are going to give you 5 more minutes of practice. The way that this is going to work, it is going to be an alternating doubles. Leslie says 2 shots, he's ready to roll. But anyway, we're going to put letters on the left side of your scoreboard. A, B, C, and some of the pairs will have letter D. second bowler will stay on the other lane. It will go that way for all 6 games. Obviously, the even games will start on the right lane, and the games will start on the left lane. So we're going to turn on the lanes. We're going to give you 2 shots each for practice, and then you're going to start everybody at the same time.
Savannah, should we approach her? Should you just pay attention?
And as things progress, we're almost done with practice. Pardon for the little audio issue we had there with the commentary. We'll get back on that momentarily. As we are almost ready to start this Baker doubles. Come on, guys. That one more shot isn't going to make a difference in the long run. If you don't know what you're doing before that one last shot, you're not going to find the miracle in a second. All right, so your leadoff team, bowler A, you'll see up there, are the Sim brothers, MJ and CJ. Bowler B is Amanda Granada and Cara Archangel. Bowler C are the Lamoureux brothers. And then your bowler D is the team of Swetacha of the Savannah variety and Kapla of the Matt variety. And we are underway. Bowlers will stay on one lane all night. So like we're going to see with the Sim brothers, MJ is going to stay on lane 7. CJ is going to stay on lane 8 through all 6 games. This also allows each player on the team to finish 3 of the Baker games of this 6-game set. Once again, it's kind of a fun event, so it is on the house shot. Where was that during the bake? No, I'm kidding. Where was that during the Eliminator? Shows up for the Baker, 5 counts right away. That's going to make his brother feel real confident. Ah, come on, shooter. Make it happen. Ah, to the well. The team Lamoureux. Give it a shot, shooter. Oh, just missed it. So Joseph Lamoureux starting things off. Joshua will be on lane 7 when he gets up in the second frame. And once again, as we said, you'll see each teammate, with this being Baker doubles, just staying on the lane as the score sheet alternates. And the 6-game totals plus handicap will determine our champions during this Baker doubles. Hey, look who's in the booth. When's the first time I had you in the booth doing something? It had to be like 2015 in Long Island at a PBA event, even though you've been hanging around longer than that, obviously, Justin Bohn.
I'll tell you, Phil, it's been quite some time since our first sit down
7
here in the
years.
booth. Yeah.
You're about half the height you are now.
Yeah, probably.
So that Eliminator shootout, that was a lot of fun to watch. Your brother got hosed on a 7-pin. I'm sure you secretly enjoyed watching that, though.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I would have, if it would have been my brother, I would have been smirking my butt off on that one.
Yeah, well, I wasn't bowling, so like I couldn't
Right.
beat him.
Right.
So like, you know, for me, I always want to see either my friends or my family bowl as well as they can.
Yeah.
I just want to beat them if I'm bowling them. So like for me, you know, Brandon's won this event before. Let somebody else win. Or if he happens to win, bowls the best, let him win. So
It was pretty neat between the 230 squad, or the 1230 squad, and then the start of this bigger doubles. Chuck Gardner and Bill O'Neill did a nice presentation for the young players in the Rev Rates section of the center, and talked about. Okay, I'm sure you've had all that information from your dad. I mean, Chuck passes it to your dad, and your dad passes it to you. What's one thing that sticks out about like tournament preparation for something like tonight that your dad told you and it always sticks out in your mind to do it?
You know, one of the things that I've learned over the past 3 or 4 months that has really stuck in my mind that I believe has led to the success that I've had over the last 4 or 5 months, because I've had the most success in that time frame that I've probably ever had in my bowling career. You know, obviously winning Junior Gold was one of them, but I had a lot of success out in Vegas at the Open and the True Amateurs Tournament, and the Bowlers Journal. I bowled 770 at the Bowlers Journal. Had some success along the way. So, you know, the biggest thing for me was my process. You know, really committed in my process and not letting anything that goes on that's out of my control affect my mental state, whatever that may be. Really committing to my pre-shot routine, not really worrying about the result and taking it as free information. So like if I go high, I got to move, or did I make a bad shot kind of thing, not a, oh my God, I just split. I had a game at Junior Gold that I had 44 in the 4th, and I wasn't upset at all. And I was like, okay, this pair just hooks more. And that's really all it is. It's unfortunate that I split 3 out of the 4 shots, but there's nothing you can do about it at that point. And I threw the next 4 and bowl 180 or 190. So it's stuff like that, you know, really committing to your process and not letting the things out of your control, because ultimately how many pins you knock down is out of your control. So.
Yeah, strange things can happen. You get weirdly shaped cylindrical objects with a round bowling ball, and you know, weird leaves can and will happen, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I got to ask you a question. It's my first time. It's my first time here.
Okay.
Rev Rates is gorgeous. How did the idea for Rev Rates come about, and what did your family have to do with that for people that are just watching the PB3 scholarship tournament for the first time?
So this conversation started in early 2021. Tom Russo, Matt Russo's dad, Matt Russo's PBA champion on tour. He actually grew up bowling here at Howell Lanes. Him and his family partnered with me or our family and came up with this idea. Mom's given lessons for a number of years, and she's always wanted to have a training center or a space dedicated to give lessons, you know, during the winter season when leagues fill the house on every night. I really wanted to have a more open window for when kids get out of school at, you know, 2 or 3 o'clock and can't give lessons past 6. So she really wanted to have a dedicated space, and we never really came about with the way to do that until we, you know, built the wall on lane 6, as you can see right now on the stream. On the other side of that wall is a 5-lane training center and VIP entertainment space. And it's got the ultimate capabilities of some of the highest class training in the world. It's going to be an absolute great training facility for people to just come in and, you know, just practice, you know, at any time. You can shoot at any spare combination as many times as you want. You can put out basically any pattern as long as we have enough notice to make reservations.
Okay.
And on top of it, if you're not an avid bowler, there's the other side of it with our VIP side. You can book private events, do birthday parties in there, corporate functions. We have what's called, a lot of our viewers have heard of sync scoring, which is the latest Brunswick scoring system that Brunswick has out. And they have a lot of games in there that come with this thing called Spark, that a lot of people haven't really heard of because it's so new. So this great new technology that actually lights up the lane.
Isn't that what they use on the Fox show?
Yeah, so they use Clutch on the PBA Tour. Brunswick's version of it is Spark.
Okay.
And it lights up the lane. It interacts with games that have targets on the lanes. One of the games is Angry Birds. There's a whole bunch of games that interact with graphics on the lane that really bring the bowling experience to a VIP level. So the capabilities that we have on the other side of this wall here right now are really incredible, and to even be a part of it, let alone, you know, my parents being the owners, is really something special.
Yeah, and we're going to be over there on Sunday for the top 2 in each of the 4 divisions for their championship matches, and looking forward to getting the equipment set up and moved in over there and showing everybody that can't make it to Howell, New Jersey this weekend. Maybe you might take a couple-hour trip up this way and get a lesson from some of the best coaches and some of the best professional players in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's no real training center that is as high class as ours. I mean, really north of, you know, Texas, Florida. When you look at Kegel and ITRC, the new one is B3 down in Phoenix. Ours is going to be in that category. It's gonna be those 4 training centers, at least in the United States for the time being. You know, there's a lot of people that we hear that fly to Kegel, fly to ITRC for high class training. And we're going to have something like that in the Northeast. And, you know, we're really looking forward to having an elite space for bowlers to improve their game and get to the next level.
You know, and the neat part about that too is that if somebody needs a little work done while they're here on some of their equipment, you've got a pretty quality guy in that pro shop just outside the Rev Rates store with John Fury.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a PBA regional champion. He's a great player in the Northeast region, a part of the Brunswick, or I believe the Radical national staff team. So it's, you know, it's really awesome what we have here, and we've got we've had some great faces inside Howell lanes for a long time. Between Matt, Johnny Petraglia, Parker Bohn, they all grew up here. They all grew up within 5 minutes of here. And we've had some great players that have come through here, and we have great players that come here all the time just because of those connections. Go back, Mark Roth and Dave Davis used to bowl here. So there's been a lot of great faces over the years that have bowled here and trained here. This is what I feel has been a higher class center in our area, and now it's becoming, hopefully over the next 5 to 10 years, one of the higher class centers in the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to walk into Rev Rates and just go, wow. I mean, the jaw drops. It's that good looking. And then you come out here to the main part of Howell lanes. It's wide open. There's plenty. Nobody's tripping over bowling balls here while they're out here bowling. You know, and there's some of these players have 8 on their pair, and there's still plenty of room for the equipment and plenty of room for the parents to sit and you can walk through the concourse. So it's nice to have a center like that that's got some room. There's a lot of events where all of a sudden you get into a place and you got to snake your way through and suck in your gut to get between people, and you don't have to do that here at Howell. It's a pleasant visit for my first time here, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
I just got to get Charlie, once we're all done on Sunday, I just got to get Charlie to buy me a beer.
Yeah.
He promised me one. I'm going to hold Charlie to it.
All righty.
So what's on the tournament agenda for you coming up? Anything soon for bowling wise, or?
So I am, I believe, bowling a member non-member regional with the one and only Parker Bohn III. That'll be in 2 weeks here out in Ohio, about an hour south of Akron.
Okay.
I am bowling the Swiss Trios out in Wichita. I got a really cool text message from Chris Prather asking me to bowl that.
Nice.
You know, one of the greatest players on tour right now. And,
yeah.
You know, I mean, it's an honor to even get asked to bowl any kind of event with a player like that, let alone an event as big as the Swiss Trios is. So I'll be doing that. I'll be going with him and Brandon Biondo out there. After that, I haven't really looked past October.
Okay.
I'm spending a lot of time working at the training center. That is kind of my new job, my new home per se. Doing a lot of the marketing stuff for them, a part of the marketing team there, and really looking forward to growing that business. You know, I believe these first couple months are going to be vital to the success that we have over the next 5 to 10 years. So to be a part of our family business on more than just a family member side, but to really, you know, be one of the major hands. Is going to be something really special for me.
So other than your mom coaching, are you doing coaching as well? Is there
a little bit?
Are there what other coaches are there other than your mom, Leslie?
So mom and dad are giving lessons. You know, people can come in and give lessons if they're a coach in the area, as opposed to $30 an hour for the lane. It's only $20 to come in and give a lesson. John Fury gives a lot of lessons in there.
Okay.
He primarily does his lessons in there. Dad when he's home. Me, I'm doing some lessons here and there based on my schedule, based on me being home. We're still working on building our coaches base, but between clinics and players coming in, I'm sure the facility is going to attract some big names and some clinics and stuff. So we had Walter Ray in a couple weeks ago do a clinic. We had Parker and Doug do a clinic the first week we opened, actually.
Okay.
So more and more clinics will be coming up there. I would say stay tuned to our social media pages to see what new coaches we have, what clinics we got going on, because it's going to be something really special.
So where do they find you on the socials then? I know the website is revrates.vip.
Yep.
But on the socials, where do they find you?
So Instagram, you can find us at Bones Elite Training and Rev Rates VIP. On Facebook and Instagram, or on Facebook, you can find us at Bones Elite Training and Rev Rates VIP Entertainment. And like we said, our website is revrates.vip. Go check it out. It's we got some pretty neat stuff in there. So.
Yeah, they're gonna keep adding as things go along, and I noticed as the ball not ball testing, but the try before you buy thing was going on today.
Yeah.
For the Brunswick equipment. It's the first time I saw all 5 lanes in action, and I'm watching 1 through 4, and you got the nice GSX pin setters and everything. And all of a sudden, ball hits lane 5. I'm like going, what? And as soon as I saw the pins go, I'm like, how did a string pin setter happen to sneak in there?
Yeah.
Are you guys testing something for Brunswick? I mean, I know they're one of the 5 companies I've seen at Bowl Expo over the last couple of years that have had string pin setters for sale.
Yeah. So we.
I didn't give away some top secret thing there, did I?
No. We do believe that at least in maybe not in Dad's future bowling career, but in mine for sure, we will see competition on shrink pins more and more, just because we're going to have more centers that end up buying it, because ultimately it is cheaper. Working the front desk, and from what I've seen, I really don't need to have a mechanic back there for something going wrong with the string pin. Yeah. All you really do is the strings get tangled.
Yeah.
That's not very hard to deal with. So. From a management standpoint and from an owner standpoint, it really is a good investment to have that string pin machine. And if you're really only doing open play business and that's your primary market, it's really a good business move. So we believe that more tournaments we will start to see bowled on string pin. And we figured we had the odd lane. Lane 6 is obviously going to be walled up forever. But lane 5 being the odd lane, we said, you know what, let's do it. Why not? So
it's pretty neat. I've bowled on them a couple times for fun, and the pins fall different. But if everybody's bowling on it at the same time in the same center, you're all under the same conditions.
The playing field is level.
Yeah, and you mentioned not just the cost effectiveness and the ease of use, but the safety aspect of it. I mean, you can't crawl under one of these tables on an 8230 and expect to not get hurt, if not worse.
Right.
If somebody turns the lane on by accident or something, and you're working on it. Doesn't happen with string pins. All you have with string pins is the weight of the pins. Everything else is framed into the big metal frame cage around the top of the lane, where the pins go back up into and drop back down. So safety-wise, every once in a while you still see a story out there where some mechanic working on a pin setter and makes a mistake and gets a hoodie. I saw one last year where a guy got hurt really bad because he had a hoodie on. And he was turned around, he worked on the machine, and the hoodie got caught in a wheel and pulled him into the machine and almost choked him to death.
Wow.
So the safety aspect is the biggest and best thing. I mean, when they built these pin setters in the 50s with these 8230s and the first original Brunswick A1s, or the Brunswick A's, they didn't think about safety guards and all that all the time. You'd walk back on some of those machines and you just kind of look at yourself like going, yeah, it can be a death trap if you don't respect the machine.
Oh, absolutely.
We got 6 games to go. You're going to be running around getting scores and everything, or you've been doing that all weekend. You got your helpers getting scores, and you arrange it for me. I get some nice totals out of the Google Sheet on my laptop. And
I'm hoping I can sit in the booth, this squad, for a majority of the Baker doubles.
Okay.
There are going to be times where I have to rearrange the scores because I'm the one doing that. But I've got some helpers running around. We've got a great team, and I want to thank all of them. I'm not going to thank all of them individually, but our staff here running the PB3 tournament and the staff on the PB3 tournament team are doing an absolute job running this event. And we couldn't really put on an event like this without every single one of them. They're ultimately the ones that make this event all of us together, added together, really make this event what it is. So, you know, I've got a couple of them running around and collecting scores for me, and then once they're all in, I will rearrange them and put them onto the website. If you want to follow along with the scores tonight, visit parkerbone3.com. There is a live results link right on the homepage, and if you want to follow along with any of the scores all weekend long, same website, parkerbone3.com. Very easy to get to, very easy to follow along with the scores and with the bracket finals. And also be sure and tune in all weekend long on the live stream, because we've got, you know, great footage and a great stream here set up for all of the bowlers, all the competitors, and all the fans of the sport of bowling.
Yeah, I mean, other than junior gold, I don't know of too many events for the youth players that have had 26 lanes of streaming going on during the event. If somebody else can name one, please send the email to phil.brilo@10onthedeck.com, because I'd like to meet that person and shake their hand. It's crazy enough to do what I'm doing this weekend by myself. So
yeah, well, Phil, we appreciate you being here. You know, for a number of years, we've been able to get a hand on your equipment and run the streams the way, you know, with you kind of on call.
Yeah.
But to have you here in person, you know, it's really awesome, and we're really happy to have you on board this year, helping out with the streams.
It's great to see the atmosphere of the whole center, the parents, everything. There's one thing about, I might piss some people off at home, but oh well. One thing, the East Coast parents, when it comes to the kids bowling, are a lot more calmer than the parents I see in the Midwest. Seriously, some of these parents in the Midwest are just, you just want to kind of take them and go, hey, it's just a game that they're lucky enough to maybe make a few dollars of scholarship money out of. You know, they're not going to the PBA next week, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I've come across a few parents like that in the Midwest in my time. I haven't seen one of those here this weekend yet. Parents are all, it's more of a social thing for them right now. They're all talking with each other, and some are keeping an eye on the kids. Some of them are helping a little bit here and there.
Yeah, I will say, you know, after all the events going on throughout the summer, there really isn't a lot of Northeast bowling per se going on, right? There's a lot of big events going on in the summer, but not too many going on in the Northeast. So really this is kind of like the reunion back after the summer, you know, like the back to school meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's take a look at this squad list here of some of the players and teams that we've got going on. We've got some junior Team USA members on the squad that I do want to highlight. We've got a junior Team USA team, 2023 members, Brandon Bohn and Andrew Blaney bowling on this squad. Haley Lindley, also junior Team USA member. Okay. We've got junior gold runner-up in the U15 boys division. By the way, finished runner-up in U12 the year before, Kai Struthers. He's on the U15 developmental team for 2023.
We saw Kai game one during the 1230 squad today.
Yeah, and he's been a force to be reckoned with at junior gold the last couple of years. First year in U15, #1 seed on the show. Yeah,
just this kid called Landon Jordan that kind of got in everybody's way again.
Yeah.
Kind of like how your brother got in everybody's way in under 18 for the second year in a row.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I didn't have to bowl against him, that's for sure.
Yeah. So scores not starting off overly high even on the house shot, but you got to get that rhythm in Baker doubles. It's something that a lot of these kids probably aren't used to. How many Baker doubles events would these kids bowl this season? Probably not many.
Not many.
And
no.
Out here in New Jersey, at least from the research I've done, when they bowl in high school, it's not Baker games either. It's standard 5-person team games, correct?
Yeah, there's not a lot of Baker action going on in high school bowling, I should say. At least when, you know, there are some finals that we bowl Bakers, if there's a bracket finals for some of the events, but most of the events that are just 3 games, or that are just qualifying, I should say, are strictly team games.
There's your winter high school team tournament idea for you, the Bohn Baker Challenge.
Might be able to do it.
Give the kids a taste of a little something different. Because in Wisconsin, it's all Baker format, but then I ran a couple tournaments where we had them bowl regular games first to seed the field, and then we changed them over to Baker for the bracket. So something the kids didn't get to experience very often. You got to change it up once in a while. You can't do the same. I mean, as easy as it is in high school bowling or youth bowling to do the same old, keep the interest. You got to change it up. That's what's fun about this Baker doubles. Let's change everything up on the weekend. Put out the house shot, do an eliminator, make a Baker doubles. Dogs and cats living together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I will say from...
Whoa, we just got a camera moved here. Hold on, I got to move this.
Go ahead. Yeah, I will say from past experience of actually competing and bowling in this event, one of the biggest things that I've noticed is how interesting the lanes can transition based on the players and the bowlers that you end up crossing with. Because you only bowl on one lane, right? Yeah. So if you start a little too far left, which I actually did a couple years ago, in 2020 I bowled with one of my buddies, Alex Horton, shout out to him. We both started pretty far left, and that was a bad idea. It was either the 5th or the 6th game, I don't remember. We were way out of the number, way out of the number. We weren't even close. We were having fun. Lo and behold, had the front 7, and my feet are on about 50. I'm in front of the ball return. Threw it in the right gutter. Threw it in the right gutter. Threw it from 50 to the gutter.
Ouch.
Yep, front 7, 0. Good try, better luck next time. Your ball will be right back.
That's a good finish for Saitachi, though, in the D slot. Got the last 3 strikes for a team, $163. What are they handicapping this off of, if I could ask?
It is 80% of 420.
Okay. So some of these teams, like the one with the Sims with CJ out there, giving his best effort, he'll get a few pins of handicap for he and his brother.
Oh, yeah. I can tell you they get 52 pins a game. So they bowled 202 the first game.
Okay.
They're bowling 150. Phil, let's take a look across the house and see what other teams we got going on. Going down the stretch, maybe down on the high end a little bit.
Well, let's start on 29 through 32 and work our way up. You know these players better than me, so
all right.
Maybe you can highlight a team or two out here.
Could probably do that for you.
So otherwise, I'm just guessing.
Let's start with 29 and 30. Got Donovan Klein and KC Campbell, Paul Lampy and Maddie Raines, Caitlin Berger and Olivia Salvatore are all on 29 and 30.
Okay.
On 31 and 2, Abby Turner and I believe it's Evan Hartzman. We have first initials here, so I'm taking a strict guess on that. Roman Gurax, and I'm going to go with M. DeLazio.
Okay.
All
Just
right.
got the prize fund handed to us. $400 on top. That's not bad for a fun little 6-game baker, 3 games per person.
And then the last team on 31 and 2 is Jacob Confinas and Odin Peterson. Odin Peters, excuse me. So, as we just got handed the prize fund here, we're going to be paying 1 and 4 today. We have 43 teams competing, so we'll be paying the top 11. Total prize fund today. Keep in mind it was a $50 entry fee, $25 for each bowler. Okay?
Yeah.
Gives you a little food for thought. It was $70 total. $10 of each player's entry went towards the Eliminator, which was I believe it was a $900 prize pool for a $10 entry.
Yeah.
And we had 86 bowlers. So now we have 43 teams, paying out 11 spots. First prize is going to be $400. Second is going to be $240. Third is going to be $200. Fourth is going to be $180. Fifth, $160. Sixth, $140. Seventh, $130. $120, $110, $110, and $100.
I believe there's a Matt Russo molestation going on right now.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Hi, everybody.
Have you bought real estate in Jonesboro yet, Matt? Are you looking at that anytime soon?
Maybe if we open a training center in Jonesboro.
Okay.
Right now, Rev Rates is the place to be. Bones Weight Training, 3 junior gold, 4 junior gold titles, PBA 50 Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, PBA title, all happening in 2 years. So come on down and see us and train with us.
I guess if the PBA tour doesn't work out for him, he's going to come after your marketing job. Jim.
He might. He might. Well, he's on my team. He's not coming after my job. He's on my team.
He's on your team?
Yeah,
okay.
he's a good one to have on my team.
Technically, I'm his boss.
That is not true. That is not true. We are equals in this business. We are equals in this business. Thank you very much. Have a good day. That is the end of that topic.
So he's going to be a little bit too busy on tour again in 2023 trying to take home some more titles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that schedule, I know it's got to be close. I've heard some guys chattering about how the schedule should be out any time now. We'll see. I mean, last year was out like right around Halloween. I remember that. I always just look forward so I can pencil in my Sundays for when I can watch the PBA and FS1 or Fox.
Yeah, those are always good days. You know, we had some fantastic shows on the PBA Tour this year.
Yeah.
I vividly. Oh my God, that was an atomic messenger by Brandon Bohn. Holy crap! Wow.
I've seen one better, and that was by Jesper Svensson in Oklahoma a few years back, where the pin never hit the lane. Your brother's pin hit the lane right there.
Wow, that did about 18 flips in the air.
Yeah.
But we know one that vividly sticks out in my mind, and I remember it because it just happened, was the Elias Cup.
Yep.
The Elias Cup finals, the last 5 frames there. I remember we were sitting in our car, heading to Junior Gold, or I think we might have still been in Portland. I'm not entirely sure where we were located. But we were on our way in a car, and just the last 5 frames of that telecast happened for, Portland to win their 3rd Elias Cup. It was, unreal to watch, getting chills. Norm Duke's last shot on TV.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Exactly.
That's what the internet said for Norm Duke's last shot.
Exactly. I mean, it was really one of the cool things that we were able to witness this year. Watching Belmo win Major 14 was one of the cool things. And I'm getting chills just thinking about some of the stuff that's happened. The Tour Finals, we had 200-300 games on TV. There were a bunch of really good shows and a bunch of really good
World champion Chris Prather.
Yeah.
After the one frame roll off for the title, and Flash got 6.
Yeah.
So that was painful for Flash, but hey, Prather built that, and if it wouldn't have been for Jason doing what Jason does, it could have been a Player of the Year type season for Prather.
Oh yeah.
No, I get my vote with the media later in the year, and you can't vote for anybody else but Jason. I mean, this time around.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. Anybody that doesn't, I had my hand up in there. We missed. She owes me a drink, whoever that may be. Does that count? Does that count in youth tournaments if you hold your hand up in a 5-pin?
Unfortunately, I don't think so.
Dick Allen bought it at the Super Regional in Coldwater. He missed a 5-pin. Everybody had their hand up. He bought him around.
Wow.
He said, "I own it," and he did.
That is true.
Hey,
I do want to point out one of our players here that we got on 29 and 30, Donovan Klein.
Yeah.
U12 member of the USA Bowling National Championship team.
Okay.
Won the USA Bowling event with DKJ Pro Shop out of the Ohio Valley. He's a pretty good player for as young as he is. He's bowled extremely well for his age, and even not for his age. He's put up some pretty good numbers for only being, I believe he's only like 10.
Wow.
I believe 2-hander that'll be up. Let me check my list here. He will be up on lane 29 here in a minute or two. He's bowling Casey Campbell, his partner, up on 30 right now.
Okay.
Casey, another really good player that we have in our area. Donovan's been a force to be reckoned with at Junior Gold, let alone, our area and our local competitions. I'm really excited to see where this little kid goes, because he's pretty good for only being 10, and he would be pretty good for being 13 or 14 too. So let's hang out here, watch Donovan throw a shot, and work our way down to 25 to 28 here.
Yeah. Next time my little buddy here, CJ's up on 7-8, though, I'm going to break it. I am going to break the down lane thing and just cut right to him. This graphics department, I'm telling you, they got to start working on their game. Come on, graphics guys. You don't get much of a break tonight. They always key off of moving lanes, and then when they don't move lanes, it screws up the graphics department. Talk it over with them later on. Waiting for, just looking at nobody's putting big runs on that. It's kind of surprising. I would think with, a couple of these, quite a few of these players having at least one, if not 2 squads under their belt, qualifying so far that, this would look like they have the world on the lane compared to the 42-foot tournament pattern.
Yeah.
They'll be on the house shot, and I see one 4-bagger, a couple pairs down. I see a lot of donuts and a lot of red on the board for those splits on the first ball.
I will say we've got one game that I noticed, leaders after game 1. Brandon Bohn Palmer and Daniel Robertson, both 255 scratch. They are a scratch team here.
Yeah.
In years past, we have had scratch teams that have bowled, and they've bowled well, but the handicap number has been a little too high. So we actually modified that this year. It's been 80% of 440. We changed that to 80% of 420 this year to give some of those teams that can really put up a good number scratch. I believe we had a winner a couple years ago that there are some players that excel very quickly in a short amount of time when they go from just starting bowling, averaging about 100 to getting to 150. That can happen very quick.
Right.
And we had 2 players that were at that level. They combined, bowled on a team. They had over 600 over for 6 Baker games. So they averaged over 300. Some of the scratch teams didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works out like that.
Right.
Handicap tournaments are ultimately how good somebody bowls over their average. And whether you average 220 or 120, if you bowl 20 pins over your average, you bowl a good game for your score, for your average. So,
and everybody knows it coming into the event.
Oh yeah.
If you're bowling a handicap event, if you're bowling a handicap with added scratch options, if you're bowling a scratch tournament that has a handicap option, I mean, everybody knows what they're bowling tonight. Nobody's coming in blind. So
exactly.
All right, let's get over to 26 to 28 in a second here.
All right.
Is it just me, or is there an inordinate amount of left-handers in the field at this tournament? It seems like every pair this afternoon in the 12:30 squad had a lefty.
Really?
It was coming through. Yeah, I just don't know. Is it something in the water here in the East Coast that there's?
It might be. The house record here is shot by a left-hander.
Okay.
And it was on 31 and 2.
That's not named Bohn either.
That's not named Bohn. No. His name is Mike Fogarty. He grew up here. He is actually one of our sponsors this weekend. Shout out to Rita's Ice. He's providing all of the Italian ice that we have here. We had some nice Italian ice, so it was very refreshing after a long day here. We shout out to you, Mike. He's got the house record. Bowled juniors with Dad, actually. Him and Dad have been friends for quite some time. He actually bowls league with Mom. Mom bowls league on Monday nights here. It'll be interesting to join her in the same league in this upcoming season right here at Howell Lanes. But, we got to do what we got to do here. So we do have a score update after game number 1. Team Leventhal is in the lead. They bowled 268 scratch. Ooh. And we've got no handicap in these scores.
Uh-oh.
Let me double check this.
Time for some spreadsheet adjustments.
Time for some spreadsheet adjustments here.
We'll stick with this pair for frame here. We'll come back in a second. We'll get another look, since these great bowlers in 7-8 are stuck with us as their only feed. We want to make sure family and everybody watching at home has a chance to catch as much of them as possible. Well, MJ Sims holding in his team, 3 strikes in his even-numbered frames so far this game. CJ's having a little struggle, though, for Team Sim. Team Lamoureux, 1 open through 5 in this game. Granada and Archangel started with deuce, 200. They're bowling scratch, so they may have to get a few more pins on the board to get into that top 11 to cash.
All righty. So now we got our number.
All right.
We got official scores after game number 1 here. Leaders, still Team Leventhal. 268, getting 26 pins a game. So they're plus 94 in the lead. We've got 61 over, 55 over, 42, 40, 39, 39. So,
okay.
11th place right now for the cash is 224 with their handicap.
That's a respectable pace on a house shot.
Absolutely.
It's nothing obscene.
No, not at all. So plus 24 is the cash number after game number 1. The leader is plus 94. Our winners tonight receiving $400 in scholarship for a $50 entry fee. I want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors here.
How about that for Lamoureux?
What a spare.
2, 6, 7, 10.
Way to work.
Glad we stuck around for that, but let's get back over to 26. We got a team with the front 5, Team B, on 25 and 6.
Let's check this out. Team B on 25 and 6. Is that Mike Fogarty and Robert Havens? If this sheet that I have is correct.
I don't think I've seen them bowl any of the squads yet. This might be the first thing they've bowled in the building this weekend. I could be wrong, but it doesn't cross my mind about seeing them on the rosters for the first 3 squads.
And how's this pair? 27 and 8. We've got PBA Junior East Region champion. She just won, I believe, a week or 2 ago out at Strathmore Lanes. Vivian Luna going to the PBA Junior National Championship. On 27 right now, we've got Andrew Blaney, 2023 Junior Team USA member. Like we just talked about, Kai Struthers, Junior Team USA developmental team member for 2023. Sydney Bohn, who just finished 5th/6th at Junior Gold. And Brandon Bohn, who just won his 3rd Junior Gold title and is making his 2nd appearance on Junior Team USA.
Come on, CJ, get that crossover. Oh, he's got 8. That's going to be a tough one for him. What would you suggest a player like CJ? He's 9 years old. He's still using plastic ball because of his ball speed. What could he do to maybe gain a little ball speed without losing too much accuracy as a two-hander?
The biggest thing that I could say for two-handers is getting that speed from your feet. You know, he's a very small kid. You can see. You know, getting those feet moving a little bit quicker and trying not to create bad habits by creating it from, you know, your arms. That's a bad habit you can get into when you're young. It's a habit that I got into when I was bowling one-handed. And if you can generate that speed with your feet, get your feet moving a little bit quicker to help generate some speed, that will ultimately increase your ball speed. If I could tell him anything, that's what I would tell him for sure.
I know one of Chuck Gardner's big things today, and he used your dad as an example, is you got to have the lower body strength.
Oh, yeah.
In order to help everything work properly. Bowling's not just a game of just swinging your arm back and forth. It's not bags.
No.
You know, it's everything working together, and you know, to get that base when you're at the foul line, stay balanced so you can get through that ball so powerfully.
Yeah, the legs are one of the more important body parts. I think the most important is your mind, but that's my opinion.
And that's why I'm here talking instead of bowling all these years.
Yeah, so, you know, legs, core are really important. You need to have a free swing in order to repeat shots to the best of your ability. So I would say, you know, having good legs, having a good amount of strength in your legs and your core are ultimately the muscles that you should have to be pretty strong, to be a pretty good player here in the sport of bowling. So we've got Andrew Blaney and Brandon Bohn. Andrew stepping up right now on 27, working on the front 6.
Yeah, that's the only pursuit of perfection we have at the moment left here in game 2.
Yep, they bowled 224 the first game.
Oh, glad to know I can ruin that with just a switch back over to him.
It's all right. It's all in good fun.
So 3 squads tomorrow.
Look at this, got a kid in front of the ball return already. It's game 2. Game 3, I think, on that pair.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will sniff that even on Sunday once match play gets started. I wouldn't think.
No. You know, I am really looking forward to our bracket finals. I think it's one of the neatest things that an event can do. I think ultimately it is the most exciting format you can have in any kind of event coming down the stretch is a bracket finals. And our 2-game bracket finals, we do it the same way that Junior Gold does. I think it's a fantastic format. It's exciting to watch. If you are not doing anything on Sunday, be sure and tune in. It's going to be an exciting day of bowling all day. And if you are doing something Sunday, not bowling the Parker Bohn tournament, you're not going to be here at Howell Lanes, cancel your plans because you need to be watching the finals on Sunday here in all of our divisions, because it's going to be they're all exciting, whether it's round one or the championship match. So
yeah. And just in case you can't get out of those plans, that's the great part about YouTube is you just go and watch at your own convenience.
Exactly.
Just make sure you give yourself a reminder somehow. Go to the PB3 Scholarship Tournament YouTube page. Go to the Justin Bohn. If you haven't subscribed to the Justin Bohn page already,
you should, man.
Help the guy out. I mean, he's only got 10,000 people that follow him on a regular basis. Let's get it to like 15 by the end of the weekend. So I got to start watching more of your stuff.
What the heck are you doing, Phil? You're giving me a shout out here. You don't even watch.
I was watching your stuff today because it was getting played in the paddock. So you had quite a few entertaining clips going on today, but it's just hard juggling all that bowling. And sometimes I don't get, for some reason, I haven't been getting many YouTube notifications lately. The ones I do get, I kind of question because they have, sometimes it's bowling, but it has like Chinese or Korean characters with it for the channel name. I'm like going, I don't know this person. Why is YouTube telling me to watch this clip?
It's all about that algorithm, that big word.
Yeah.
That big word that nobody understands.
I can't spell it, and I can't sure as heck figure one out. Math used to be kind of my strong suit, but then I kind of gave up on that after high school. CJ having some problems. Hey, we got anybody famous on 21 through 24?
Let's find out.
Let's go.
All right, 21. We've got Anthony Crockett and Andrew Branco, Caitlin Milzarski, and Jay Rome. Don't know the first name. First initial is J. Brandon Bohn Palmer and Daniel Robertson, they got 255, 221 on the board for a 476 total to start. That's ultimately going to be pretty good, I would say, in the standings for 2 games. Still waiting on that 2-game update here. Still waiting on a couple teams to finish up game 2. 23 and 4, we got Riccio and Smith, Bennett and Paul Misi, Tommy Sanfilippo and Joseph Dominguez. And then we've got Ian Harmon and Haley Lindley. Haley is actually a 2023 Junior Team USA member. She finished 5th and 6th at Junior Gold in the U18 girls division, getting her spot qualifying. She actually qualified, I believe, in 3rd in that division after 26 games. Shout out to Haley. So let's see how those teams are bowling.
Yep. Yeah, I'm getting hollered at in the chat by Pinhead UK about Don Barrett. Yeah, Don had a good season too. I mean, he's one of the ones that was for a Belmo season. It would have been a pretty big fight for PBA Player of the Year.
Yeah, you
Don
know,
Barrett taking the TOC and having a solid season with some other top finishes. But yeah, it's that pesky Australian.
Yeah, there were a number of guys that coming down the stretch ultimately could have had a chance if Belmo didn't have, 5 titles this season. There were a number of guys that in conversations, in that March time frame with 2 or 3 majors left, I was like, if one of these 2 guys between Simonson, Don Barrett was there, Prather was there after he won the World Championship, there were a number of guys that could have won Player of the Year provided Belmo hadn't won 5 titles.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a much closer race. And, it was interesting coming down the stretch. Simo did have a Player of the Year capability or caliber year when you look at what he did throughout the season, winning the Masters and the U.S. Open. Don Barrett obviously winning 2 titles, winning the Triple Crown. He was right there. But at the end of the day, Belmo wins 5 titles. You ain't doing anything about that. He should win Player of the Year winning 5 titles. And if somebody doesn't win Player of the Year winning 5 titles in a season, somebody else bowled really good.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if it was the old 33-week season back in the 70s and 80s, you could get away with winning 5 titles and losing out on Player of the Year with a Mark Roth-esque type year, or even an early year where Earl had 6.
I know Dad had a stretch on tour that he had 18 wins in 5 years, in 5 seasons. I know one of them he had 5. I don't know what other ones he did, but man, I look at a 5-year stretch. I mean, I look at what Belmo's done over the last 10. We did a stat a couple of years ago that he's got a 25% chance of winning the majors. A quarter. And I think it was pretty close to 50% that he made the show. Flip a coin, he makes the show at a major.
Yeah.
That's incredible to even, think about. So. anyone that can put up numbers like that it's pretty good.
I mean, you think about that. If Belmont had that type of dominance in the 70s, he'd be taking home 2 majors a year and 10 or 11 titles.
Oh, I know.
You could be talking about Belmont being, you know, it's 60 titles right now, easily, well past Walter Ray.
Right.
Yeah, there's always a good way to irritate Walter Ray. Just say bracket finals. No, that'll have Walter Ray walking the other way as soon as you say it. Yeah, not Parker. Walter Ray, definitely not a fan of the bracket format this year. Your dad did just fine, though.
Yeah,
Survived
that he
enough
did.
of them.
That he did.
Took down some titles. He's a guy. You know the format going in.
Oh, absolutely.
And I am a fan of the varied formats, just because then you're not watching the same thing week after week after week. So I was the guy back in the 80s watching the tour. I couldn't wait to see Mark Roth and Marshall Holman, or another doubles team that won 3 times with Mike Albee and Steve Cook. I always loved watching that Columbia 300 doubles when it was on. It was just a nice change of pace. When Tom Clark and the PBA developed the league format, I was gung-ho on board from moment one. Well, Granada looking for the punch out. A little iffy on the footwork. Well, let's take 10 the ugly way, but there's the strikeout.
Doesn't matter how, only how many.
Exactly. Kapla and Switacha are going to give a few back. I believe they're bowling scratch, so they're going to lose a few pins to the field. They're going to need to start putting some strings together.
They're getting 14 sticks a game.
Okay. So they'll be slightly to the plus with the conversion here by Kapla.
Yeah, something's better than nothing, that's for sure.
And kids, make your spares, because that gets painful after a while. All right, let's take a peek over here. A few more, down to 17 through 20. As everybody is now getting themselves into game 3. Go Graphics. Let me get that one done.
Yeah, I think this pair on 7 and 8 is Bohn. Quite slow compared to the rest of the field here.
Yeah, there's a lot of strikes on the board. And there's also 4 teams on the pair. There's only a couple of pairs that have it.
Right.
We've got it in front of us. So we may know the champion of the event before the last 2 pairs are done, depending on the scoring.
It is possible. That is definitely possible. Still waiting for some scores to come in from game 2. Once we have that, scores will be available. If you want to follow along at parkerbone3.com, you can go visit there. There's a live scoring link right on the homepage, and just click that, click doubles results, and that will bring you right to the live scoring link.
So here's one of the lanes with 4 teams on the pair with 19 and 20.
Yep. Let's take a look at some of the teams we have on 17, 18, 19, and 20. Lewis and Gramatig, Noto and Montgomery, Lazarchik and Varela. On 19 and 20, we have Beyer and Morel, Diaz and Boyce, Kapelin and Wolkowicz, and Applewhite and Warren.
There was an older Lazarchik that quite a few years ago did really well at Teen Masters, and I covered it with Extra Frame. Andrew?
Yes.
So
yeah.
Any relation with?
Yeah, it's his brother.
His brothers, okay.
Yep. So they actually both grew up bowling here. They live about 30 minutes away. Andrew, the whole Lazarchik family we've known for quite some time. Andrew actually roomed with us that week in 2017 in Virginia. I vividly remember a event that happened in game 2. I was the only JV bowler to make match play that year. I won the JV division. And
is that 2017?
Yep. 2017 made match play, was 17th at this point. Not bowling anything. It was game 10 of match play of 18 that we bowled. And Andrew was making a solid run. He hit a good first round and a good first couple of games of the second round. He looks at me, he's like, dude, I really need this one. And let's face it, folks. When you've got friends that are close to winning, you're not going to give them the match.
Right.
But you're not going to make them, throw an 8-bagger to win the game. Right. That definitely does happen down the stretch. Right?
Seen it on the Pro Tour.
It happens all the time, right?
It's subtle. Subtle things happen, and those in the know can see it.
Right. You don't throw it in the gutter when you need a mark in a 10th.
Right.
But, you know it happens.
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't, well, you do now. So anyway, Andrew looks at me and says that. And I go, no, man, you got to earn it. And I'm 17th out of 18 bowlers, right? I have the front 5 and bowl like 250 out of it. And needless to say, he finished 10th that week. And he was second going into that game. Sorry, Andrew, if you're watching.
See, the last name, I always thought there should be 2 pronunciations for it, like with the boy with like Andrew. It's Lazarchuk. For a girl, it should be Laserchick if they had a female. Laser, because it'd be cool. Name your daughter with the last name of Laserchick. How cool is that last name? Because that's how it's spelled.
That's
Laserchick.
That's a pretty good one.
Lazarchuk. I always said, yeah, that'd be a cool name. If they had a girl, just do a different pronunciation than the last name for the girl.
Only for her, though.
Only for her. Yeah, only for the females of the family. Like the wife, Laserchick. The husband, Lazarchuk. There you go.
All righty, so we got a score update after 2 games here. Leventhal and Leventhal still in the lead at 115 over for 2 games.
All right. Trying to run away with it early.
Yep. Second place is within 10 at 106. Looking at 11th place for the cash number. That is currently 36 over. So it didn't go up too many. Averaging 218 with the handicap, which again is not out of the water for an event on a house shot.
Gonna take a peek over here because we got our front 6 right now. 9 and 10, and watching Ashley Kuster here. Interesting form for Kuster. Right-hander, and the backup ball. Oh, 6-8. Brutal.
Good shot,
She's stunned by
unfortunate
it.
result.
And the Booth curse. And the Booth curse comes into play again tonight. I'm 2 for 3. Don't let me know you're on the front 6 because I'll ruin it for you. That's what it sure seems to be like at the moment.
Unfortunately, what are you going to do? Right? That's how I feel, at least.
I was trying to see what was going on in Rev Rates because we're right behind 7 and 8. Taking a peek in, and it's just that couple of Russo and Pate practicing like couples do. Of course, Lauren Pate just named Team USA's team that's going to a PABCON event in Peru a little later this year. So she's looking forward to going to Peru for the first time.
That's pretty going to be pretty exciting for her.
Have you
No
done
doubt.
international bowling? Have you gone international with your game?
So we have been invited to an event in 2017, 18, and 19 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
That's right. That's right. Your dad mentioned he had to take I think he had to take a senior tour event off to go with you guys. One of those years. I could be wrong on that.
Not a PBA event.
Okay.
Because this event is right after Thanksgiving.
Oh, so it wasn't a PBA event.
Yep.
Okay.
So my freshman, sophomore, and junior year of high school, we missed about 12 days of school in a row.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Yeah, and we had the taste of experiencing some bowling and some competition on the other side of the world. The unique formats that they have over there, where they bowl, a similar format to this, multiple squads and stuff like that. They only bowl 3 games over there. They have about 7 squads a day, and they run throughout the week. And they put out a pattern that isn't too bad, but if you get lined up for 3 games, you stay in the same pair, you can score pretty well.
Okay.
And, trying to understand that format and how to do that, and it's a whole new experience. That's for sure. I will say one thing. One of the things that pleasantly surprised me was the amount of rev rate that they have. The Asians really know how to hook it.
Okay.
I'll say that. There is quite a bit of rev rate that actually is the first reason that I started bowling two-handed. I got back the very first year from there. It was December of 2017 that we bowled, and I was in the bottom probably 20% of rev rate. Guys could get left of 4th arrow on the fresh, and I couldn't get left of 10.
Wow.
And my rev rate at the time wasn't low. I mean, it was probably 350 or 400.
Okay.
But my ball speed was too high, which made me a speed dominant player, and I really couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
So I came home and I started practicing it and dabbling with it. Nothing really crazy. I was really just doing it for fun. Doing it on a house shot for fun. This was before any weight hole rules came into play, so I could use the same bowling balls and it not being an issue. And just started practicing it, getting better at it. Brought it into some house shot tournaments, got better at it on sports, started bringing it to some sports shot tournaments, and then completely made the switch in September of 2020. So I had actually been bowling two-handed for the better part of 2.5 years before I completely made the switch.
Yeah, you'd bring it on occasion. I remember seeing some video from Teen Masters.
Yep.
Where you bowled some games one-handed and some games two-handed, depending on the pair you hit.
Well, that's actually one of the more unique events that I've been able to use both parts of my game in. I really don't bowl one-handed anymore. I shoot my spares one-handed. I shouldn't say don't bowl one-handed, but I only shoot my spares one-handed now. I feel like my two-handed game has just evolved that much and gotten that much better that I really just don't bowl one-handed anymore.
Okay.
But for 2 or 3 years in that event, I would actually bowl two-handed on the left lane and one-handed on the right lane when they had mixed pairs. When they had long on one lane and short on the other lane. And it was one of those things that was really never been done before.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
There's not a lot of players that ever bowled one-handed and two-handed. Me being one of the select few, I should say. And nobody had ever done it in a format like that where they're mixed pairs and they bowled one way on one lane and one way on the other lane.
Yeah.
It had been something that I had dabbled with, but over the course of that 3 or 4 year stretch that I actually did it, it was cool to see. So I will say, here's a good one. So I'm bowling Teen Masters in 2021 in Detroit. And this was coming on like 8 or 9 months of completely bowling two-handed. I had shot my spares the weekend before, two-handed, and for the 2 months prior, two-handed, experimenting with it. And I had shot spares awful the weekend before. I mean, I was missing a spare game. I mean, it was flip a coin if I could make one. Was not doing that at a tournament where I got to shoot my spare straight.
Right.
So I bring the one-handed one just in case, right? Hadn't thrown it in 2 months. Hadn't thrown a ball one-handed in 2 months before this event, okay? 5 minutes into the practice session, I decided to shoot my spare straight, one-handed, because I couldn't get my two-handed ball to go any kind of straight. Make that decision. And when I tried it on the short, my track was so bad, it actually went in between my middle fingers and right of my thumb. And most of them go right of all 3 holes.
Yeah.
It was in between my, yes. They go left of all 3 holes typically. It was so far to the right,
yep.
It was in between my middle fingers and right of my thumb.
So it was almost to the point of a real true full roller.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, Tom Smallwood, you got any advice for me?
Yeah, it was bad. And, you know, I couldn't get my ball to hook a fish, but I knew the short hooked a decent amount. And I could fiddle with it enough where I could make it work two-handed. So we bowl on the long, day 1. I bowl okay. Get to the short, they hook about 5 more. The trick that I had didn't work anymore in practice. So with 5 minutes left in practice, Dad goes, "Why don't you try bowling one-handed?" Okay, give it a try. Keep in mind, I haven't thrown a ball one-handed in 2 months besides that practice session 2 days prior.
Yeah.
Decided to bowl one-handed. Second on the squad at 140 over. And hadn't bowled a block one-handed since September of 2020. And this tournament was in July of 2021. So I was like, huh, okay, neat. And I ultimately had a trick that nobody else had, because that event, that year, I should say, on the short, anyone with any kind of rev rate had to throw it to 1-2. There was no hole that they could create.
Okay.
Which, if you got 3, 4, 5, you were going high every time. And if you obviously got it right at 1-2, it went in the gutter.
Yeah.
So a lot of the two-handers really didn't bowl that great on the short unless they had a trick. And my trick, I could actually create hold 3, 4, 5 even And that was, I mean,
You go from having 2 inches to hit tops to having 4 inches to hit. It's going to loosen up the swing a lot.
right. So I could actually, hit the pocket and score. So that was a fun one. I think I finished 13th or 14th that year. But again, the last year that I bowled one-handed and two-handed on both lanes, so we didn't bowl this year. But yeah.
All right, so you already said you want to bowl. You have bowled internationally. Where's one place you want to go and bowl that you haven't done it yet?
Oh.
There's got to be some place where you've seen some tournaments your dad may have gone to in the past or something like that.
Love
you really
to
want
go to I think the center. No, it's not Kuwait. I think it's Dubai.
Okay.
That they have the center that's like 6 stories high or something like that.
That I didn't know.
I don't.
How big that center is.
They had something there in the last 2 or 3 years.
They had I know Tom Hess won the senior, the gold medal in the senior men in the World Championships last year in Dubai. Was that the same center?
No.
Okay.
No. They bowled the World Bowling event that a bunch of the players, the PBA players, went to. Might be Kuwait.
Okay.
Anyway, I'd like to bowl at that center. If you know what center I'm talking about, put it in the comments. I'd love to bowl in Munich. I'd love to bowl the Ballmaster. That's on my bucket list. It's either Dream Palace or Tally. One of those two centers.
with the arched roof in Finland.
Yep.
Where they have
I think it's Finland and Munich.
Yep.
I'd like to bowl in both of those. I'd love to bowl a competitive event at Tokyo Port Bowl.
Have you been there with your
I
family?
have.
Okay.
So when the first year that we went to Malaysia, we flew through Tokyo and stayed there for 2 or 3 days before we flew to Malaysia. And we actually got to bowl a couple games at that bowling center. And for those of you who don't know, that's where Dad had won all 4 of his Japan Cups. Only person to win 4 Japan Cups. And that was, I mean, at bowling in that center in a competitive environment would be. I mean, there's so much history in that building, let alone for my family, and my dad. So, would love to compete there one day.
I was lucky enough to go, thanks to Extra Frame back in 2018 with the DHC Japan Invitational, and Don Barrett won there. And your dad was on that trip as well, because sponsor exemption DHC wanted her because he's so revered in Japan.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There was one lady there, I swear I was waiting for your dad to turn around, and I thought she was going to take like a pair of scissors out of her pocket, clip a lock of your dad's hair, and take it home with her as a souvenir.
Wow.
She kept following your dad and talking to him here and there, and watched every frame he bowled.
Wow.
And there were quite a few people that did that, but she was really a Parker fan.
Yeah. I will say one of the good stories that I have from that center specifically. So Dad had won the Japan Cup the year before, and every year after you win, you sign the ball that you used and put it in a case that they have at the bowling center. So Dad goes back for the next year, bowls the first round, doesn't bowl the greatest, comes back, and he's looking at his balls, and he doesn't really know what he's going to throw. Remembers he's got this ball in the case. this green tracer he's got in a case at this bowling center that he hasn't thrown since the year prior, that he's signed and put in this case. Asks the tournament director, hey, can I get that ball out of the case and throw it? Yeah, I don't see why not. So the people at Tokyo Port Bowl let him take the ball out of the case. Sharpie comes off in a couple of frames. Leads the tournament, wins the tournament, back-to-back champion. The Japan Cup, signs the ball, put it back in the case.
See, I had a friend of mine that got an autographed ball, and they plugged it and used it. The Sharpie didn't come off. It was an old steel Rhino.
Oh wow!
And I forgot who autographed it for him, but he used it, and the autograph never came off. And we were going through the line. We used to have the ball check line at ABC Nationals, now USBC Nationals.
Right.
You'd have the ball check line you have to go through, and my buddy's bringing it through, and the guy wants to throw it out because of the autograph. And this guy, my buddy's looking at him and goes, "It's no different than an engraving." I don't know about that. And so they call over one of the ABC supervisors. The guy comes over and looks at it, and he goes, "Just let it through." Yeah, it wasn't like you drilled a a hole and put mercury in the ball or something like that.
Right. Yeah, so those are ultimately a couple of the cool places I'd like to go. I'd like to go bowl in Rio or Brazil. I'd like to hit the continents, really. I think Danielle McEwen has done an incredible job of traveling the world in her young ages.
Yeah.
When I look at the number of events that she's bowled over the last 5 or 6 years, I mean, even 10, 8, 9, 10 years. Forget bowling on Team USA, but she bowled a bunch of the world bowling events. And I think that's one of the coolest ways you can see the country going to bowl a tournament, too.
Right. Hopefully that kind of comes back a little bit so it makes it worthwhile, because the last couple of years, you haven't seen too many names off the PBA Tour going overseas because there really hasn't been a lot of World Bowling Tour events.
Right.
I mean, I'm looking right now, and they've got the Lucky Larson going on in Sweden.
Yep.
I've seen Tom Hess posting about it, and I don't know if there's any other USA pros over there right now.
Yeah, that's another one I'd like to go bowl, too.
I don't believe anybody gets hit by a car while carrying a case of water can keep the nickname of Lucky.
Oh,
but
my.
I guess he's lucky to still be alive. So yeah, I guess you can.
That he
I guess
is.
you can keep it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was 2019. Yeah, that was 2019.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, one of the dreams would be to, travel around with my friends like, Brad and Kyle doing those guys with the house, with the same idea that we have, with the crew, all our friends that we grew up bowling with. We've got this journey of starting out youth bowling in some smaller events with some national events along the way, whether it be SYC or Junior Gold. But I mean, now we've got college events for the ones that are bowling in college. To watch that journey, and I look at a 10-year plan here, right?
Okay.
How cool it would be to see a couple of us really go out and try the tour and room together, travel together, ultimately watch each other have success, and I mean even Hall of Fame careers, and I'm speaking way down the line now, but to watch that success and that journey over such a long stretch of time and a long period of time would be the ultimate dream and the journey that you want to be on.
So for the crew, is it like an initiation process, then a secret handshake, or I mean, I'm sure there's people that want to be part of the crew. Hey, how about that? How about
Another
that?
one.
Lemero's been the split-making machine tonight. Well done, young man. Hey, if you're going to get into trouble, find a way to get out of it. Nice cover again. That's beautiful.
Yeah, so back to the crew
Back
here.
to the crew, yes.
Another split conversion got in the way, but that's all right. Good things can get in the way.
Right.
So it's really just the group of guys that we're hanging out with. That's really about all of this. Group guys or girls, whoever really we're hanging out with is the crew for that week.
So it just kind of morphs together.
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's nothing that actually happens to bring everybody together. It's
just
organic.
happens.
It just kind of breeds and happens, and it turns into a big living being of the crew.
Yeah.
So. So we're almost done with game 3.
We are basically done with game
On this
four.
yeah.
This pair in front of us is, one of the pairs with 4. Got a little bit of a slower pace, but, it happens, and that's a part of the game.
Well, it's just tough sometimes. You don't want to make everybody 4 on a pair.
Right. Well, ultimately, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I've had the neat pleasure of really being behind the scenes this year. Taking over the entries, doing a bunch of the marketing stuff, the masking units.
Yeah.
I've had the neat pleasure of seeing what it takes to run a tournament. I've had, some experience with this event in the past, but from doing lane assignments to, the entries and the payments and the scorecards and all this stuff that goes into an event that you don't really realize goes on.
Till it sneaks up on you.
And, you can't always have a perfect number of entries unless you sell out, ultimately. The goal was to have 4 teams on each pair, but for entry reasons, you don't get there.
Right.
And you can't have an even number of 3, of course, so you got to have some pairs with 4, and here we are.
Yeah.
So
Switacha trying to punch out for her team. They can get to 240 if she tosses in a couple more on the board. And the team with Archangel trying to fish things up for her team. And there's a 232 on the board. For Granada and Archangel. $229 for Switacha and Coppola. That's going to get them slightly into the plus with their handicap. But a lot of work to go here as we are done with 3 games on this pair entering game 4.
So we're going to get a 3-game update here on our website here shortly. We have a new clubhouse leader, Brandon Bohn and Andrew Blaney at 172 over, and they're bowling scratch.
Yeah, nothing like averaging almost 260.
Yeah, currently averaging 257 for their 3 games.
What pair are they on? Because they may be done with game 4 coming up pretty quick.
27 and 8.
Yep, so they're getting pretty close. Let's take a peek over really quick.
And they are letter B. So they've got 258 out. They got 224, 269, 279 the first 3 games here. Cash number at the moment is 56 over. So,
right, so
again,
that's slowed down a little bit. It was 224 after game 1.
Yep.
With the handicap, and now we're down to 218-ish.
Yeah, so, again, like we talked about, not out of the water.
Right.
Not out of the water at all. So, this team in the lead now has a 49-pin lead over second place. Kafinas and Peters are in second at 123 over. Let's see if we had any high games that really jumped in. Ochino and Tacone both 245 to get to 58 over. They're in 10th place right now at the moment. So
I feel a 710 conversion coming on. We're going to go over to lane 12 here for a second before your brother's team shoots lane 27.
You feel it?
I feel it. Get the field goal. Wow, that was a bad feeling. So much for going to buy the lottery ticket at the counter here in a few minutes.
Oh my God. Wow. That was halfway down the lane.
Well, there goes the chance at 258. Lucky to take the 10 down. That was almost a 2-4-10. Well, you can almost get 3 off the right if you throw it out to the right. It'll still stay there here at Howell Lanes.
Wow.
I've had a couple people make comments in the live stream today on your YouTube channel about the house shot here at Howell Lanes isn't an easy house shot.
No, it definitely isn't the most friendly that I've seen, and that it has been that way for a number of years. We've had, like I talked about earlier, the names that have come out of this facility that have, I mean, I'm just talking about names like national levels. You know, a lot of the great players, even in New Jersey, in our area in Monmouth County, the county that we're located in, a lot of the good players, their home center happens to be here, and they happen to do two-bowl league here, and they've grown up here, and for whatever the reason, you know, that house shot being a little bit harder, whatever's gone on over the 60-plus years of this facility being open, has done something right to get some of the best players out of this place. So,
have the lanes, since you've started bowling, always been synthetic here at Howell, or did you actually get a few years of wood lanes?
I don't remember it. If I did,
okay. They've always been synthetic that you can remember for you.
I am being tapped on the shoulder for a tournament director duty.
All right, I'll see you in a bit. Justin Bohn hanging in the booth. Like you said, a little more relaxed atmosphere right now, and that let Justin sit in the booth with us for a couple of games. I'm sure he'll be back. Is this mean to do during a youth event? Is this mean? Is this mean-hearted? I got my hand up. Here you see you got a 5-pin right there on lane 9. We tried. That's the thing. Sometimes you still get the young players that don't know what that means yet. You gotta start them early. Make sure they know that the 5-pin really means something. After the spare attempt by MJ Sim, we're going to get back over and check out the score of our leaders. As Brandon Bohn, yeah, that's a 5.8. Don't ask me how that happened. Picks it up, so he's looking at a 236 maximum for the team. So his team, average-wise, is going to come down a little bit. But should still have a decent pace. How you doing, CJ? Pretty good? Saw you started with a spare. That was your spare, right? Your turn again? Yeah, your turn. Throw a strike for me, buddy. He was checking out the soundboard. We were showing him how it worked before. We had a headset on him a little earlier today. Had a headset on him again. Right after he got bumped out of the Eliminator, but we had a little audio issue. Unfortunately, nobody got to catch on CJ in the booth after the Eliminator, but I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk to him before the night's done. And CJ, can't break up the baby split. So a nice prize fund for a fun event for these young players. And then tomorrow it's back to the grind. No house shot to be found tomorrow, as we are going to have a 42-foot PB3 tournament pattern out there. 3 3.5 to 1 roughly. From the outside boards to the inside, from 2 to 7 on the right and left, all the way to the middle 4, 18 to 18. I guess it'd be middle 5. And then with 28.26 milliliters in the pattern and only 5 games of qualifying, the lanes don't break down a ton. And a lot of these young players that like to get deep early find out very quickly that that's not going to happen. And Chuck Gardner brought it up to the young players tonight in a little classroom he had prior to this Baker doubles competition, basically saying, yeah, it's really cool when your ball goes out to the right for a right-hander and then back to the left in that 1-3 pocket, but guess what? Most of the time, that's not really the ball reaction you're looking for. And there are a couple of faces in the crowd that kind of were surprised by that. But he's right. You watch the guys on the PBA Tour, and they look at the lane front to back. They don't look at the lane. They're not worried about the side to side as much. They're worried about where that ball is starting to make its motion back to the 1-3 and how strong that roll is when it enters the pocket. A lack of strength of roll will equal 9 counts. I got, oh, that's a little too loud, CJ. Bring it down a little bit. There you go. Now I got CJ as my sound engineer, my A1, they call it in the business. Of course, pretty much any crew sheet right now I'd fill out, I'd be in every position being a one-man crew. Not a bad thing, though. Sure, a little lower cost. Still means we get all these feeds out to you. It may not be FS1 quality, but guess what? It's PB3 quality. And I know the fans at home, we don't have, well, instant replays wouldn't do us any good right now as quick as the action keeps going. But it was nice being on part of the crew during a couple of those super regionals. The PBA had Coldwater, always glad to be back at Coldwater. Sorry I missed out in Jonesboro, Lubbock, and Chesapeake, Virginia. Still haven't been to Chesapeake. I got to get there. It looks like a gorgeous bowling center in a nice area. Loved my friends at Hijinks in Jonesboro. They also hosted a PBA Junior regional event earlier in the year in Jonesboro. And of course, Lubbock. My friends in Lubbock, the Evans family. So many events Jimbo and Sunday Evans put on for the PBA in a year. This year they had a regular tour event. One of the companies that should no longer be named that streamed the PBA. Dude, CJ, high five on the strike. All right, put the headset on again, buddy. We're gonna have some fun this frame. Hold on, that cord's caught. All right, here we go. All right, you ready? Here's your microphone's live now. So, all right. So, what did you do right on that ball that you struck?
I do it a little bit harder so it wouldn't hook that much. Okay.
Now, you have 2 different plastic balls. I see you change balls a couple of games in. Do they actually roll that much different for you, or are they different weights maybe, or are they the same weight?
It's just new, and that one's just pretty old, so it just hooks more or less.
Okay. So the newer surface doesn't hook as much as the old ball does?
Yeah.
Cool. And what weight bowling ball are you throwing right now?
And ice.
And how heavy is it?
13 pounds.
Oh, you're throwing 13. Holy cow. I would have thought that you were throwing like 12. You got more muscle than I thought you had. So Justin Bohn was talking about you when we were watching you before, and Justin says, as you get older, keep working on your legs as your base, being a two-hander. That'll help you get your ball speed up. So he says, a little bit of running and some squats and some burpees, and you'll be bowling strength in no time. You do a lot of running?
Not that much.
Not that much? I do from the law. So, no, I'm kidding. It's a joke. Don't worry. I could just hear your mom panicking at home right now if she's watching when I go, yeah, I'm running from the law. No, just a joke. So you got some pretty fun people you're bowling with right now. Making a couple new friends out there? Or? Yeah. So they're all cheering you on during that Eliminator. They were high-fiving you. The Lamoureux brothers were high-fiving you. Savannah was high-fiving. So these young ladies throw the ball pretty good, don't they, out here on your pair? I wouldn't want to bowl them. As good as they throw it, they'd probably beat me. Of course, I haven't thrown a bowling ball in a couple of years, so I think you might even have a chance against me. What's your highest game so far?
On a sport jet is 212, I think.
Dude, on sport, 212?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Or 214. It's
That is amazingly good. And of course, how'd you do it? You made all your spares that game too, didn't you? Yeah. You know how important a spare game is. I see you getting upset when you miss them because, you know, easiest way to get your score better.
They're just spares.
Yes, indeed. I'm like, that's like Virginia. Okay, so somebody came up from Virginia to bowl. Okay. I was looking at the state on their shirt. It took me a second to make out the shape. All right, your brother got the spare. It's going to be your turn to double it up here momentarily. So who's your second favorite pro bowler?
The Monty.
Jason?
Yes.
I'm just killing time. I mean, you guys got to start throwing more strikes or something. Then I don't have to kill time. He threw a strike. He's got time to sit up here and talk, see? I know you had some strikes before. I should have had you in here to talk to. Your brother says you're better at talking than he is. Is he right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I tell you a Jason Belmonte story? Because Jason doesn't like me.
Sure.
Yeah. I said he was my fourth favorite Australian bowler of all time, and he got mad. And yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he's a fan of my commentary. I'm not 100% sure, but you're up or in?
Andre, come here.
You wanna? Oh. All right. Yeah, okay. Put him on. I'll put the slider on. Here we go. We got CJ Sim stepping up now. All right, your brother gave a little commentary about your game a little bit earlier about, you know, how good it was. He didn't rip on you at all. So, what do you like best about your brother's game?
Let's see. He's a mini me.
Okay.
He likes to throw plastic.
He kind of has to throw plastic, doesn't he?
He kind of does.
Wow.
He's pretty good. I mean, his high game is 212 on a sport shot.
That's what he just said. Like when they first started doing sport bowling, like long before you were born. It was 2000 and 2001 we did sport bowling. It was the first year. And I think it took me 4 weeks before I shot 212, and I was a 200 average bowler at the time.
Wow.
I think it took me 4 weeks before I shot my first 212 game.
Huh.
It was a while.
Hey, well, you finally did it.
So how different are you playing the lanes now from when you had to play on the sport shot earlier today for the 42-foot pattern? Is it a totally different ball that you're using and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
So from what I was doing earlier, so like first game, first block, I was throwing a purple hammer, and I was trying to play like down and in, keeping it close to the pocket, so I could leave makeables. But I blew 149 my first game, but then picked myself up, kept my head up, made my spares, and I shot 190, 230. But then I ran into a little bit of trouble because transition hit for me, and shot 150 with only one strike and 3 opens.
Okay.
And then we came over here to this pit right here, and I still had my head up and just wanted a big game, and Shot 237.
Yeah, you finished strong on that 12:30 squad. You think you got a chance to make it to Sunday off of what you shot today, or are you gonna have to re-enter and give it a try that way?
Well,
It's got to be close.
It's going to be very close. But, I mean, I'm top 3 right now.
Okay.
After the first 2 squads. So, we'll see. No, 3 squads, sorry, right?
Yeah, first 3 squads. Yeah, there's 3 more to go tomorrow. 2 regular and then the re-entry squad at 4 o'clock.
Right. All right.
So,
We'll see.
Apparently your mom's in the chat.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Amy sitting in the chat right now, so.
Yeah.
Made sure to say hi to you.
Oh,
we gotta get your name. Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna get your name and lights, and then you can go bowl. There you go.
All right, cool.
You're official. Go throw
awesome.
Go throw a strike.
All right, I'll
we'll
try
get your
my
brother
best.
back on.
Amen.
There he is. Mel Sim, MJ in the booth. We'll try to find CJ again in a second. Oh, dude, styling with the. Yeah. Those are some sharp Dexters. Black with red trim. I like those. Actually got a pair of the 900 Gs that look like that. Yeah, jump back on, MJ. Absolutely. Yeah, you threw a strike. We'll jump you back on.
Thank you.
I can't find any other volunteers. All these other kids just want to sit here and bowl. Nobody wants to get on the microphone and talk about how good they're bowling. Hey, you know, if your brother here can set you up in the 10th frame, you punch. 204, that's a really good game for you guys for being Baker, because you guys get 50-some pins a game, a handicap.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, thanks to your brother. So
Yeah,
start making a run.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we're +5 right now.
Yep.
So if we could still keep our head up, hopefully he spares this one, we'll do good.
So there's somebody in the chat asking to see, is it possible to watch 9 and 10? You can watch any pair that's bowling right now. If you're watching right now on the Justin Bohn feed, open up another tab on your browser, go back to YouTube, search for Parker Bohn the Third Scholarship Tournament. And that page that you'll land on for the Parker Bohn the Third page, that has all 6 streams we have in addition to the Strike Central stream. So if you want to watch 9 and 10, double tab us. Keep us on the Justin Bohn page, and then open it up in the PB3 Scholarship Tournament page on YouTube. And then you can watch the rest of the night, watch your favorite players, and then, hey, keep us on, because we've had Justin Bohn in here. We've had CJ and MJ Sim. I'm sure we'll get a few other special guests that are still around hanging out, because you guys got a couple of games to go yet. This is game 4 for you guys, right?
Yep.
So game 5 is going to be coming up next. 2 more and a couple frames to go.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's got a chance. Look at that. He's on. Making it happen.
Little pressure here.
So, whoa, that's a big logo. Let's get the graphics department to work right. Should we tell this nice lady that sat down next to her that next to you she's going to have to put a headset on and talk with us instead of taking a picture? No, I'm kidding. You don't.
I got you, don't worry. But,
do you smell that pizza?
Oh, yeah. It smells really good.
Really good. I'm going to have to go grab a slice after the round.
All right, sounds good.
So.
Alrighty.
So.
Well, how's your day been so far?
It's been busy. You know, you get some busy long days doing this. I mean, I got here at 7 o'clock this morning to get all the equipment set up.
Well, thank you for
First
doing
spot was
that.
at 9. Well, hey, and make sure you thank Parker and Leslie Bohn, too, for bringing me in. So, couldn't have done, you know, they worked with me and we got it all happening. And I'm glad all the parents and family and friends at home are able to watch the entire house all weekend long. I don't think there's any junior tournaments other than Junior Gold. And even Junior Gold, you couldn't watch every pair because there are just so many kids. Have you been to Junior Gold?
Yes, sir.
So did you bowl the 12 and under this last year, or were you in the 15 and under?
15 and under.
15 and under. How'd you do?
So first 3 days, I was minus 76. And
That's not bad at all there.
45th place.
Okay.
46th place.
Yeah.
But then, you know.
Day 4 got you.
Day 4 got me. I got into my head. I didn't make the best shots. Didn't make my spares, and it really told me that this is what I need to practice on: my mental and my spares.
What'd you like best about Chuck talking in Rev Rates today. Did you take something away from that? You're gonna.
Yeah. So I literally recorded the whole entire thing.
Nice.
Right.
Smart kid.
But he really said the basics are the most important. So focus on the basics.
As much as people kind of laugh at sometimes that aren't real competitive bowlers when they say trust the process. Well, that's the thing. The process, the more you can be robotic and repeat actions, that's how you get your success in the sport. And then you make the small subtle adjustments and go from there.
All right.
So all right, we're gonna let you get back to your finishing your 10th frame. We're gonna get Justin Bohn back on here.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. MJ Sim got to finish off. Oh, trust me, this booth hasn't been empty since you got away, Justin.
Yeah. I noticed you had one of my personal biggest fans, as I would say. Mel's been a huge supporter of me since, I would say, probably close to day one.
Okay.
Comments on every single one of my videos within the first 30 minutes. Bought a crew sweatshirt. One of the biggest supporters that I know. He's a massive fan. I've seen him around. It's really cool to see, people like that in the bowling world and come up to me and, say hi and say they're a supporter. Those things are really meaningful and they mean a lot as he gets the infamous 6 count.
Yeah, well, hey, we've seen some big splits made tonight in this pair by Joseph Lamoureux.
Yeah.
We'll see if MJ Sim can make it happen here.
As we've got teams done with.
There's got to be some teams done with
6.
Yeah, I was going to say, some teams got to be all the way through, and we're going to have 2 more to go on this one. So
yeah.
Oh, we got a front 7 alert we'll get to after the 10th frame here for these teams. Over on lanes 19 and 20. And tournament director Justin Bohn going to go do some tournament directing. No, don't be. Lauren, you're more than welcome to sit in here sometime this weekend. So absolutely, yeah, we'll grab you. Absolutely. We can't just brag about all the guys in this place. We got a phenomenal female bowler in here. We got to let her talk. One of the best female bowlers in the world with Lauren Pate. That's a heck of a team. And we'll talk about that tomorrow with Lauren, that she's going to get the bowl with, including Stephanie Johnson down in Peru later this year. And we just saw Shannon O'Keefe's last event at a PABCON event in Brazil. And another longtime Team USA just retiring from Team USA with Stephanie Johnson. Shea Finney will still be around for those social media videos, just they won't be international anymore in probably most cases. So the team with the front bunch over on 19 and 20 is a team of Bryce and Diaz. And we'll get you over there, take a peek at their 8th frame. Unfortunately, the distance they are away from me, I don't know whether it's Diaz or Boyce rolling the rock in the 8th frame. It's a lefty, so I think that is Boyce from earlier today. And the commentator jinx hits again. Son of a gun. I'm 3 for 4, switching to a pair at least a 6-bagger. And then having a big split. Let's see if Boyce can pick up that 3.67 after coming in light. Can't do, and now their maximum is going to be in the 265 range. Let's get back to our feature pair here. As we got an MJ Sims starting things off, Joseph Lamoureux starting things off for their teams, A and C respectively. Granada and Archangel, they're coming off a solid last game. Granada Archangel, 232 game 3, 183 game 4. Switacha and Coppola. Solid last two games, 229, 191. They're catching a few pins of handicap. Granada Archangel bowling scratch, so they're just under par for their 4 games to this point. Let's see what Granada can do here to start things off in game 5. Crossing over. And through the magics of the graphics department. Here we go, game 5. 2 games to go.
All right, here we are. Tournament director duties have been solved. The issues have been solved and completed and fixed. And
Smash 7 for the young man.
yes. Had a small issue with one of the formulas on a score sheet or on the standings page, and sometimes that happens.
Spreadsheets can be a lifesaver till there's one little transposition, and next thing you know, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
At least it did it early. It's always fun when it happens like right when everything's totaling up at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I know like right now, you know, we're coming down the stretch here. We just got our 4-game update in as this team this pair on 7 and 8 just finished up game 4 within the last 5 minutes. But we have pairs that are finishing up, done with all 6 games. So like you mentioned earlier, we will probably have our winner determined before the bowling is completed.
Yeah, your brothers teamed up with
Andrew Blaney.
Andrew Blaney.
Yep.
And they got to 14-22, but they slowed down at the end. 223, 226, 201. But still, 222 over is a nice number to post for this event.
Yeah, I will say after 4 games, they were 195 over, and they were in the lead. Second place was 118 over. So they were in the lead by about 80. That 11th place number to cash was 68 over, so it did slow down a little bit more. I honestly expect it to continue to slow down as pairs get to that 5th, 6th game of that transition. I think this house shot can break down not very friendly with 3 to 4 bowlers bowling on the same lane for as many games as they are.
Yeah, there's some pairs that are done, and there's a lot of teams that are just a bit under par. I've seen some 1130s, some 1109s. Here's a 1281 by Fogarty and Havens. So that, I don't think that's going to be enough to get a check back at the pace that we're going. It could be close to the number 11 spot, but looking at some teams already, there's a couple teams, Contrast and Peters with their handicap. They're sitting at 1,200 after 5. They're 200 over, so they're getting 79 pins a game, so if they throw a $150 the last game, we could have some new leaders in the clubhouse.
I will say check out 31 and 2 and see if that pair is done, because they are on that pair.
They are not quite done.
I can tell you what bowler they are as well.
32C.
32C. So they're looking at, 140 with an open. And they're getting 79 pins a game, so they're looking at about 220. They could take the lead here.
Yeah, if they do open, and with a 9 count there for that team, and I believe that's a 10 pin. That's never easy to make in a clutch situation.
That's 147 with 9 out, plus 79 is 226. And you said they're at 200 even?
Yep, so they're already past your brother's team. So we do have new early leaders in the clubhouse.
Yep, clubhouse leader is 226 over after 6 games for the lead that we know of, that we can visibly see that we're close. Like we mentioned, they were 80 behind them with 2 to go, and made a massive run. And it looks like they are going to shoot 147, and they are going to take the lead by 4 sticks.
Yeah, the other 2 teams on that pair, 1151. Yeah, they weren't that close and not getting a lot of handicaps. So don't see anybody else fighting for the lead on that pair currently. Coppola, boy, he tries to strap that bad boy up on the last step. That's a little painful to watch there. I tried to do that at my age. I'd need a sling and icy hot and a couple other things. As the day goes on, hey, Lamoureux mixes them up. Of course, that's of the Joshua variety for the Lamoureux. We've got the Joseph variety on the bench right now, getting ready to step up in the 5th frame. Tough break for the Sims right now as they're leaving 9 counts and unfortunately not successfully converting what's left. That's really damaging their scorecard. As Swataka decides it might be time to visit that bowler's emergency room that she has on the front of her shirt. I went there once, but they called me dead on arrival. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the next act. 2-drink minimum, it's still in effect. I couldn't do it to the little guy. I almost had my hand in the air for the 5-pin. I can't do that to my buddy CJ. Not going to happen. Hey, spare, buddy. Hey, I got to ask you. Grab the headset for a second. All right. Do you know what happens when you leave a 5-pin and everybody in the crowd goes like this? So you know what that is. We did that to somebody before and they didn't know what that is. So I had my hand up in the air. So what would have happened if you would have missed that 5-pin? You would have to buy me a soda, darn right. So way to be clutch and make that 5-pin. That's a tradition that should always be in effect in bowling. You miss, you got to buy somebody a soda when it's done. So, or whatever, flavored water, Kool-Aid. So you can't do soda all the time. I used to be able to drink soda like mad. I can't do that anymore because I'm too old. How about that strike by your brother? That was pretty. It's one of those strikes where, like, if they have the old bowling textbooks on how to bowl, they put a picture of all the pins mixing with each other on the cover. I'm old enough to remember I had to read a bowling book to learn how to bowl. I didn't have YouTube. Do you watch YouTube to learn how to learn bowling tips and stuff like that? No.
Only did like 2 times.
Okay. But do you watch Justin Bohn's channel a lot on YouTube?
Sometimes when my brother watches it, I'll just watch along.
Okay. Do you have a favorite video of Justin's that you've watched, or no? Okay. I'll have to ask your brother what his favorite Justin video is. So I got to start watching a little bit more of Justin's stuff. He put some pretty fun stuff out there. I saw today that he was doing imitations of pro bowlers. Like when Pete Weber did the "Who do you think you are? I am." Lucky bounce. No. You ever seen somebody make a 7-10 in person? No. It's pretty cool when it happens because nobody expects it. You just kind of throw at it and go, maybe it'll bounce. Maybe you'll get lucky.
go run for bowling, and we leave at 7:10. My brother always says, CG, don't go for it. Let my brother go for it. Let my dad go for it. As he throws it like hard.
Okay.
We wanted to see it bounce.
All right, we're going to make it official. We got a graphic made for you. You ready, CJ?
Yeah.
In the booth, CJ Sim. It's pretty cool, huh? So you can take a screenshot of that when you get home? Put it on your wall. You up again? All right.
Yeah.
We pull that slider down for you. It's time to try to double as Sim leaves the booth. Sim has left the booth. He hasn't left the building. He's going to try to put a double on the board, follow up his brother's 5th frame strike. That's one thing the seating here at Howell Lanes can't get the 10 to fall on the high crossover hit. It's cool because it's old bar stool seating, so you can just kind of spin in and out. 50 styles diner seat bar stools, so those are pretty cool. I've been having an ease getting in and out of my seating. Well, Cosmic, he's not 7, he's 9, and he has more revs than a lot of us. Problem is, he's got to work on those revs making corner pins, because now, yeah, he's left the corner pin, and that one not even close. Spitaka here with the wide open, gaping wound on the score sheet. Hold on, I'm going to ask Savannah a question. Oh, she's not in the mood to talk. Okay. You want a job as a production assistant for a second? No. Means you got to wrap cables up and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that to you. No, you can just leave that alone. I'll be right back, though. This is my vote for coolest jersey of the tournament so far, and you've seen it all night. Got Savannah Swataka in here with me. The Bowlers Emergency Room, is that a pro shop or something? Or?
So yes, it is my coach's pro shop.
Okay.
Will Clark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay, I didn't know there was this pro shop.
Yeah.
I know the name.
It's called the Bowlers Emergency Room.
So you came all the way in from Illinois for this?
No, I actually live in New York.
Oh, you live in New York?
Upstate New York. So I traveled to go see him, and I send him videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Does he drill up your equipment too? Or do you have somebody?
Yes.
Oh, he does everything for you.
Yeah, and he'll like send it back to us.
Yeah, I know. I used to. Joey Serrar is a very familiar name to a lot of people in bowling. He used to do ball reviews in Bowler's Journal, and he was my ball driller since I was this high.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had people that moved away from Milwaukee that still get their stuff drilled by him, or they send him. It's the same thing. He's such a great ball driller. How did you meet Will?
Well, we saw Jillian bowl so well, and then my dad is always like kind of like was talking to him at Junior Golds and stuff, and then we finally went out to see him, and I've stuck with him.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my first year with him, so and I really like him.
I'll have to drop. I haven't seen Will in a while, but I'll have to definitely drop him a note. And that is such an awesome jersey. It's really cool. The blood stains and all that other stuff. I joked around before. I said, I'd go to the Bowlers Emergency Room, but they find me dead on arrival. So with my game. So hey, well, good luck the rest of the night. You bowling tomorrow?
I am.
What squad are you on?
First squad.
First squad, 9 a.m. We'll see you bright and early. So good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, coolest jersey I've seen at the event so far. So it doesn't get better than that. Thanks, Savannah, for stopping in the booth. Savannah Swataka. And, Will, I don't know if you're watching or not, but if you are, hey, she should get a little something. Yeah, she should get a little promo for that or something like that. Make sure Will looks at it on the stream. Let him know. Well, we'll throw a logo up there next year for you for a small additional fee, or give her 10% off on something. Yeah, that's definitely a very familiar name to me in Illinois bowling with Will Clark. Quality toss by Archangel there. Trying to get her team with Granada back in the 200 range this game. Well, that music is pumping and thumping next door here. Nobody bowling in Rev Rates, but definitely a bit of a party atmosphere going on. Yeah, some of the players, they're done with their bowling. Can we get a score correction, sir, on that lane, 7 and 8? Taking Justin Boy, he's getting ready to put the headset back on, and I put him to work. Apologies for the silence there for a moment. Had to take care of some production business. Never easy as the one-man crew, but hey, it's for the kids this weekend. I will hustle and do whatever it takes to make sure these young players have their talents shown to the world through the Parker Bohn Scholarship Tournament YouTube channel. I made him laugh. He knows what it is. So I'm not going to do it to him in the middle of a tournament. The old hand in the air 5. Yeah, I'm not going to do it to him. Justin might, but I don't know. Oh, family's in. All right, here we go. There's no way CJ's missing this. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ah! I put too much pressure on the young man. He's done. I'm on his enemies list for life now. So we're getting some scores updating as they come across. I think we've lost Justin for the rest of the doubles show here. And unfortunately, some of these scores aren't having the handicap run in yet. So unofficially, we've got Kofinas and Peters in the lead, with Brandon Bohn and his partner Andrew Blaney in second. The only two teams I see right now that are over plus 200 for the 6 games. Most of the teams are done, so they're getting scores verified. We have 3 pairs remaining in our coverage, so if you want to watch bowlers that still might be in play on 9 and 10, or bowlers that are in play on 19 and 20, those are teams that have 4 teams on a pair, but it looks like this pair we are with here. On 7 and 8 will be the last ones to be completed, and we should have unofficial standings for you from Justin Bohn as we near the end of game 6. I don't see any of these teams in contention here on 7 and 8 at the moment. So while we're waiting for game 6 to start, let's give you the rundown of what we have for standings to this point. Let's start with the under 15 girls division. There's only been a couple of participants so far. We've got 7 entries. A couple of those being repeats. We have Abigail Montgomery in the lead with a total of 745. Melanie Delosio in second at 721. Abby Turney third, she's at 700 for her 5 games of qualifying. So odds are they're only going to be taking 4. And right now it's a 696 total of Kayla Flynn that would be in that 4th spot going into Sunday. In the under 15 boys division, that's looking like by the time we're done, we may have 10 or 12 boys making it in. Right now, William Cunningham averaged 218.6 on the 12:30 p.m. squad today to move in the lead in the under 15 boys. Donovan Klein, minus 10. Mel Simon, you see here, minus 34. That minus 34 is looking good. Matthew Sundberg, minus 64, and Kai Struthers, minus 83 are your top 5 at this point. So, yeah, I'll tell you what. If they take 10, even that minus 64 Sundberg might make it. So we'll have to see as we progress through the remainder of qualifying tomorrow. In the under 18 girls, definitely will get to 16 for that bracket. Sydney Bohn, your leader, at plus 69. Haley Lindley, second, -4. Vivian Luna, -23 in third, and then a big gap back to fourth through sixth with Mary Beth Baker at -72. Leah Varela at -81, and Elania Okochino. Elania Okochino, pardon me, at -89. And then Alexandra Sardis -111, currently rounding out the top 8. So something tells me at score of Luna and up are safe. Baker on down. It could take a little more work to make Sunday's finals for the girls. And in the under 18 boys division, Vincent Bain in the lead, plus 109. Aiden Davis second, plus 99. Nicholas Platoni third, plus 75. Michael Martins fourth, plus 64. Brandon Bohn in fifth, plus 52. Right now, eighth place since they're taking 16. Let's go at half the squad's done, half the cut made. Jake Diaz at -11. So right around a 200 average tomorrow for 5 games for under 18 boy in qualifying. Should give them a good chance to make Sunday's match play round. So once again, 3 squads tomorrow, 9 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 4 p.m. 4 p.m. is exclusively for the players that have entered at least once prior in the event. And I know from talking with Justin Bohn a little while ago, I believe all squads tomorrow are filled. If you're looking to come down and bowl here at Howell Lanes in the PB3 Scholarship Tournament, my suggestion is get here early and see if there's a possible late drop. In one of the squads that maybe your bowler might be able to squeeze themselves into. Other than that, unfortunately, it may be wait until next year for your chance to bowl the PB3. Scores are piling in. Scores are being tabulated as we speak. And we'll try to get you something updated here. For standings, as this is the last pair in play for this evening. So looking at the 9 a.m. entry list tomorrow, a lot of new faces having bowled at this point in the event. A couple of repeats like Kai Struthers that Justin talked about earlier. But a lot of new faces be coming across your screen tomorrow. Eliana Ochino, also another repeat I see. It's trying to improve her position into making Sunday's finals. As Ochino currently in 6th place in the girls 18 and under at -89. Yeah, she's definitely going to want to improve on that to see action on Sunday. Team that came close to the lead. You mentioned Kofinas and Peters, currently your leaders in the clubhouse. Drew and Deliasio currently sitting at plus 193, so they fell about 50 pins short. And it's starting to look more and more like a total right around plus 100 might cash in this event. I mean, winning's nice, but hey, getting that scholarship check going home with you is always a good consolation prize. CJ, strap it on for a second. Put the headset on again for a moment. You're not up for a frame. All right, favorite cartoon?
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that one. I gotta find something cool to watch with my great nephew one of these days as he gets older. What's another cool one? Oh, that's a classic, too. I mean, that's been around. I used to play that when it was a game in the arcade when they first started coming out with the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm showing how old I am now. I mean, I might be a little older than your dad, but I bet you he watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when he was a kid. So what's the game plan after you're done throwing the last ball tonight? You going to go out and get a late dinner maybe? Talk to some girls at the in the paddock back here?
Probably stay at the hotel.
Stay at the hotel? All right.
Maybe
You don't have school already, do you? You don't start. You haven't started school yet. Okay, because that'd be kind of bad. Labor Day weekend, you just start school, you come to a fun bowling tournament, and you got to go back to the hotel and do homework. Yeah, that'd be kind of rotten. Hey, you're up. I'm going to send you on your way. I think CJ's running out of gas. When I couldn't get him to talk on the headset, all right, here, let's get MJ in there. Let's get a good answer. All right, here we go. All right, favorite cartoon?
Favorite cartoon? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There you go. Your brother said the same thing. I always thought it was pretty cool. I used to watch the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was younger. So I used to play the video game in the arcade. They actually had a video game in the arcades. Pick your character. I was always Michelangelo. Holy cow! That ball had a turn signal on it. It moved so hard to the left.
He's throwing plastics there.
Yeah. When it gets even when it still gets friction, it's gonna go. So, those are some. You got the same. You got the. My wife would love that color, that blue. I like the red he's got in his. I got a pair of 3Gs that are black and red, not quite like his Dexter's, but my wife would like that. She likes that metallic blue. Yeah.
When's her birthday?
Right after Christmas. She doesn't bowl anymore. Yeah, she doesn't bowl anymore. We haven't bowled in a couple of years. We're gonna start doing it again.
Hey, just get it for her. She likes the color, all right.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, she had actually a pair with that blue, but it had green instead of where your black is. That was pretty sharp.
That looks cool.
Yeah, that's her pair now. So I don't know if she want to go with just the basic black with that other stuff. So no homework yet. You don't have school.
No school.
So
we have Florida right before we go to school.
Okay.
So we're gonna miss like 4 days, but you know what? It's all right.
That's not. Where in Florida are you going?
Orlando.
Oh, so you guys gonna do like Disney World and all that?
Most likely, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's really out there for a family event, family work event, but like my parents, because my sister, if she's watching.
Oh yeah, they're watching.
Yeah, she loves like all this princess stuff and everything, but
Okay.
Hope she's feeling lucky. She was tired and all that, and she didn't want to come, but
Well, I'm glad they still got to watch you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool. So years past, they would have just had to listen to what your dad said, how you guys bowl. Now they can see how you guys are doing.
Right.
So, but what time you're at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning? You're bright and early, or?
I will be here at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
But I will be training with Matt Russo.
Oh, good, cool. And then you're gonna bowl the 12:30 squad.
We'll see how that goes
because
I'm sitting top 3 right now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We'll see.
Are you already have your entry in on the 4 o'clock just in case? Because otherwise, that might be sold out. You might want to check before you head back to the hotel tonight.
Yeah, that's a very good suggestion.
Yeah,
it's all up to my parents.
Yeah, have your dad check. So, but yeah, you were pretty decent. Up. Hold on, you're up.
Yep.
All right, we'll let you go. Hey, Amanda, you can have the headphones. Amanda, you can have the headphones too. We're passing them all around to everybody. You can get on and talk if you want. Nope, look at that. I got that look of nope. Don't even talk to me. But we're having fun on the headphones. Aren't we, CJ?
What did my brother pick?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Pick anything else?
No, he was telling me about your upcoming trip to Orlando that you guys are heading for after you're done here. So you held out on that for me. You're going to go see like Mickey Mouse and everybody, and you held out on me?
I might. There's a chance I might go to Disney.
Okay. What if you don't go to Disneyland? What are you going to, or that's Disney World there, sorry.
Or is it, wait.
Disney World's in Florida, Disneyland's in California.
It's either SeaWorld or Disneyland or both.
SeaWorld would be cool. I've yet to go to a SeaWorld. Universal Studios would be fun too. I got lucky. I got to go to a Universal Studios in Japan. on a bowling trip once. That was pretty cool. So that was really neat. All right, you're up. All right. Oh, he's got a bowl. Everybody else is yelling at me because I'm slowing everybody down. I've offered headphones to everybody, and the only one that took me up on it was Savannah. So. I asked Amanda if she wanted to be on there. She looked at me like I had a third eye. I'm like, come on, let's talk bowling. Come on. Don't you want a career in bowling broadcasting? It's gotten me to like New Jersey from Wisconsin. You can go places. I'm telling you. Let's talk bowling. See, all the young ladies look at me like I got a third eye. All the guys are like, yeah, give me the headset. So, it's the first one. Nope. Yeah. I've said nothing but nice things about Amanda and her bowling. So, yeah. All right. All right, let's get the microphone down here. All right, so I'm from Wisconsin, so I really don't know many of the youth bowlers around here, so you have to identify yourself for me.
I'm Leah Varela from Brick, New Jersey.
And you bowled earlier today,
yes,
if I remember correctly, and you're sitting pretty well in the girls under 18, aren't you?
I think fifth.
Fifth,
so.
yeah. So I think you'll be okay for getting into Sunday. So make sure we get pictures of this. Put it all over social media for her. I'm not the one blushing. It's all her. So I assume that you bowl high school here in New Jersey?
Yes.
I heard you guys don't bowl any Baker competition for high school. What's up with that? That's so much fun. I started some high school programs in Wisconsin back in the day. Most of the high school tournaments in Wisconsin are Baker tournaments. So much fun, so cool.
Yeah, we only get Baker like in the finals. So.
Yeah, they do most of the regular season in Baker in Wisconsin. So we do things a little different there. We also have. It's funny because like watching the parents tonight, it's like a big social event in Wisconsin. It's like the parents are hovering over the kids, watching every shot, getting ready to give unsolicited advice to the kid. All right, so what do you know about Amanda here? She's stepping up. It's a 10th frame. She's looking to punch out and have a good finish for the night going into tomorrow. What do you know about her game?
I know that when she's in a lot of pressure, she can perform well. So.
Okay. Has she bowled yet in qualifying? I don't think she has.
I don't think she has.
So she must be bowling, trying to get in everything tomorrow. So are you going to re-enter if you have to, or are you just going to let it happen as it?
Yeah, if I have to.
If you have to, okay. So you're going to line it up before you go tonight? Because it sounds like a lot of people are like worried about the cuts, and they're talking to Justin about.
I'm on the wait list.
You're on the wait list, okay. So that's fine. You're proactive. You're already on the wait list, and some people will make it, and some people will drop out.
Oh.
I've seen this made on TV before. Just so you know, Amanda, no pressure here. It's just a few. Oh, you've been making splits all night, dude. Joseph's been making splits all night. It's phenomenal. Oh, geez, don't fall off the stool.
I wanted to see. Justin, do you want your spot back? Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
And that's not going to be a conversion. Well, hey, thanks for sitting in with me. Good luck
welcome.
tomorrow and the rest of the weekend. We'll hopefully see you in Rev Rates on Sunday, because if you make it over there, it's a very good thing. That means you're in the last two. So
I will try my very best.
all right, go get some rest. Thanks for sitting in. And with that, absolutely. Yep. Leah's sitting in fifth, minus 81. And with that, we're ready to end our broadcasting day, ladies and gentlemen. As Justin's mentioned many a time, get the verified, fully completed Baker double standings at parkerbohn3.com. Spell out Parker, spell out BOHN, and then use the number 3.com. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, squad number 4 of this tournament. I want to thank all my guest color commentators this evening. I want to thank Leo. I want to thank Leo just sat in. I want to thank CJ, buddy. Thanks for sitting in, man. Fist bump. Thanks to your brother MJ as well. And have a good time with your dad. And if I see you tomorrow here, I'm sure we could probably sneak you on one more time. Cool. Tell everybody good night.
Good night, everyone.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks, dude. Just leave it. Just set it down right there. And I'll fold it up right
Yeah, you got it.
I can't leave it out because people mess with it.
Sometime else.
Yeah. Like bowlers, I don't worry about. Like I knew it was just gonna be like regular tournament bowlers and families and stuff. I do it at PB3, I just leave it out. Here, I can't do that. Especially when people start coming in. Right. I work at a bowling alley too. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I've taken stuff down just on the basis of fights. Yeah. Stuff like this, you do not want open play bowling looking for feet, touching,